It's the Dave and Jen Morning Show on Light Rock 97.3, and every month we choose a new winner in our Hidden Gems of the Finger Lakes Sweepstakes. Thanks to Jim Mead and the Early Owego Antique Center for being our partner with this, giving out a free appraisal and some other swag. Jim, welcome back to the Dave and Jen Morning Show.
Nice to be with you here just ahead of Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. I bet it gives a little bit of excitement at the Early Owego Antique Center during this time of the year.
Oh boy, I guess we've had big weekends and big weekdays, and last weekend we had Santa and our electric trains running around and a piano player on the first floor.
Awesome.
We've been having a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Our winner is from Owego. Her name is Teresa, and she put up an item that has a little bit of history behind it from the New York World's Fair. Teresa, tell us more about how you got the item.
So we used to have a couple of little old ladies who lived next door to us.
Can you say little old lady anymore? I guess you can.
It's too late.
I feel like I qualify. But as children, we used to visit them. And typically when we'd go, they'd offer us tea and cookies. But on this particular occasion, they gave me this charm bracelet. And I took the charm bracelet home. And my parents immediately recognized that it was something special, and they took it from me and put it away. And so I've had this charm bracelet probably for the last 50 years with the idea that it was something special, and thought this was a great opportunity to get a little more information about it and find out really what kind of value it holds.
That's great. This is what the Hidden Gems of the Finger Lakes is all about, right, Jim?
Absolutely.
So tell us more about the bracelet and what Teresa has.
I recognized it right off the bat as probably 1964. It's a charm bracelet of various charms, silver-ish plated, on a card, and the card at the top of it, it's printed in a relatively modern typeset, New York World's Fair. Well, that could mean either 1939 or 1964. We're very convinced that it's 1964. Upon further inspection, it's curious because none of the charms have any relation to the New York World's Fair.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sure it's never been off the card because it's actually stapled to the card, so this is the way it was purchased as a souvenir, I'm sure, in New York at that time.
Gotcha.
I was at that fair. My dad was chief of police in Owego for a long, long time, and then in 64, they held the New York State Chiefs of Police Association and the International Association, they held together in New York to go to the World's Fair. So there's hundreds of police chiefs in the city, and the commissioner, of course, is their host and everything. And that week, Harlem erupted. It just exploded. And, of course, that was a fascinating thing because here's all these chiefs, but still a lot of Indians, too.
Right.
I remember getting on a bus at the hotel, and they were going to drive us out to Flushing, which they did. And I had never seen so many Harley-Davidson motorcycles in one place ever. I mean, I don't know how many motorcycle cops they had, but, boy, they escorted that convoy of buses full of chiefs like it was, the President of the United States.
Sure, yeah. We're talking with Jim Mead of the Early Owego Antique Center in the Hidden Gems of the Finger Lakes Sweepstakes with Light Rock 97.3. And we have Teresa in Owego with a New York World's Fair charm bracelet. Tell us more about your thoughts on the bracelet, Jim.
So it becomes curious as to why it doesn't even have, like, the Unisphere, I think it was called, the symbol of the New York World's Fair. So we have to come to the conclusion, and I'm sure it's correct, that it is pretty much a generic charm bracelet that's been put on the card, to sell at the World's Fair as a souvenir, probably a relatively inexpensive souvenir, although I don't really know.
Right.
There's no precious metals involved, but I think its greatest value right now is the fact that it's still stapled to the card, so it does have that connection to the World's Fair, and there are World's Fair collectors, both for 39 and 64, and in some cases both years, and or any year if they're really into World's Fairs worldwide. So when you get right down to it, if it weren't stapled to the card, it would be pretty much just a yard sale trinket.
Sure.
But because it's stapled to the card, and we have this New York World's Fair connection, it's somewhat better than that, but unfortunately not a lot better than that.
Okay.
I'm afraid that as if it were not attached to the card, it might be a $12 or $14 charm bracelet, but because it's attached to the card and says New York World's Fair, we're thinking, perhaps $22 to $24 to $26, maybe.
All right. Well, Teresa, nice little memento, and something I think that even if you knew that it was worth a lot of money, you'd probably be hanging on to, right?
Sure enough.
And I would recommend either wear it or leave it stapled to the card, or carefully open the staple and put it back. Whatever. I mean, it's really, because of this now, it's a lot of fun.
Maybe you should start collecting other items from the World's Fair in 1964, Teresa. Make a little collection, a diorama or something. It's Jim
Thank
Mead.
you very much.
It's Jim Mead and, of course, Teresa from Owego, our Hidden Gems of the Finger Lakes winner. For putting that in, you got the free appraisal and a few minutes with Jim and I. And also, we're going to get you a $25 gift card for Owego Donut and Beer Company. And Double Down Bar and Grill and Cantor, too. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, Jim, for the audience, for those who might be doing some last-minute shopping, give me your hours running up to Christmas.
Yeah, we'll be open 10 to 5.
Okay.
Christmas Eve, I think it's till 3 in the afternoon.
Okay. And then on Boxing Day, the 26th, regular hours?
Yep, absolutely.
Check it out, earlyowego.com, for all the info on the Early Owego Antique Center. Jim, thanks for joining us, and happy holidays.
Same for you all there at the station.
Same to you, Teresa.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.